Welcome back to another episode of Anything Must Go.
Episode 2.
Episode 2. As always, I am the one and only JD. And this guy right here next to me,
Mr. L.
Mr. L. I didn't really do an introduction this time. I wanted to change it. I don't want people to expect the same thing every time.
You want to be sporadic?
Sporadic. I want to be all over the place.
God.
You know what else is all over the place?
What's that?
This podcast. Anything must go. In case this is your first one, we literally talk about everything. From socks to street names. Sex positions. To why is it called Friday? That'd be pretty interesting, right?
Right.
There's got to be some audience out there that's like, why is it called Friday?
I was always wondering why a dictionary was called a dictionary.
A dictionary.
Why not a dictionary?
Why? So for the people that this is your first time, thank you, welcome. For the people that returned after that crazy first episode where we were just trying things out, we were recording off a phone, audio got a little mixed up, video as wise. Thank you also for coming back. So we decided this episode we would talk about movies, because movies is one of the main interests that we have between the two of us. That kind of what
we share.
That's kind of like what we'd be at work, like, what do we talk about? Movies. All the fucking time, like what movies we saw, what movies we haven't seen, what movie's better than this movie, agree, disagree, whatsoever. So we decided, we're like, what should we do with this next episode? And we said, let's just do movies. Let's talk about it and just go from there. So before we get into that, like last time, I'm going to talk about the news that's going on in the world regarding entertainment. I didn't really do a lot of like news. It's more like entertainment news. But before we get into that, I do want to talk about something serious to get it out of the way. Unfortunately, there was yet another shooting at Roselle's Bulldogs. People that are from the area know about the bar. People that don't, it's your typical bar/restaurant.
Yeah, decent bar, decent restaurant, food, drinks.
Been there for a while too.
Yes.
And unfortunately, some guy a few weeks ago had an argument with a worker.
A week.
Yeah, it was a week ago.
Yep.
Had an argument with a worker, was leaving, decided to turn around and started shooting in the restaurant. Hit someone in the head who, by some miracle, is recovering and is in the hospital. So I'm happy about that. And she also works at an Italian pizza kitchen. And I want to put up, they have a GoFundMe going on right now at the restaurant.
Okay.
I would like to put the link up, and if you can, donate whatsoever. I'm going to do the same thing. But yeah, she was struck, and she's recovering. And they ended up finding the guy. The guy ended up living like a 3-minute walk from my house. And that terrifies me because it's on the way to the park, and I would walk with Harley every other day. To know that you're walking right by where this person lives is scary. I know it's scary to begin with, but when it starts hitting closer to home, it's a whole different level of it.
And the crazy part about it is, a few of my family members and friends actually know the guy.
Really?
Yeah. Yes.
So does this surprise you?
No, not at all. From the, since he was younger, and he's still a young cat. He's about
like early 20s.
So, yeah, no, doesn't surprise me at all. I mean, it's getting ridiculous. I mean, even 4th of July,
Probably, yeah.
And even the shootings that weren't documented in the news or...
Do you think we're getting at a time now to where a lot of this is just numb to people? To where it's like, oh, another shooting happened. Yeah, I know. To where we're getting at a stage now to where these shootings, people are so used to it.
I think the scariest part about it is everybody's going out there to get a gun to protect themselves. Right. So it's, what is it going to be, shootings on top of shootings now? I don't understand it.
I don't understand it either. My father-in-law has a couple of guns that he used for hunting, and I understand that. But I've talked to people that are like, I can't wait to get a gun. Like, why? To protect myself. What do you need to protect yourself from? That you need to go out and buy a gun.
Right.
And then when you do protect yourself, you're going to shoot someone? what is that going to sell? So, obviously, to the girl that got shot, and to everyone at Italian Pizza Kitchen, and everyone and their friends and family that are affected by this, we pray for you. We hope that it's a fast recovery for her, and I hope that justice is served. Last I heard that he was denied bond, and if he gets sentenced, which I hope he does, it's between 35 to life. So, just wanted to talk about that really quick. Wanted to get that out of the way before we move on with our normal subject.
Yeah, on top of that, the judicial system in Illinois. So yeah, best of luck out there to the family of the victim, and also those who were affected by the incident. Who was there at Bulldogs? We send our appreciation for you guys, and anything you have to say, message it, comment.
Yeah, you know what's crazy too is that's where me and Jen had our first date. Was Bulldogs. So like to us, it means so much. Our first date, we live probably a 10-minute walk from the place. I've taken Harley for lunch, so it's like, man, to see a place like that be hit, it's like wow, crazy. So moving on from all that, all this is get it out of the way. Let's just talk about what else is going on in the world, entertainment-wise. And one of the things we want to talk about is Vince McMahon has decided to retire. Finally. I know he's been doing it for a while. I think he's in his 70s. He decided to retire as WWE's CEO. And I don't know if this has anything to do with it. I'm pretty sure it does. But they're saying that he has paid over $12 million to 4 different women to cover up allegations of sexual misconduct and affairs.
There's always a scandal behind something, isn't there?
Always is a scandal. And the fact that it's been paid over 16 years and now it's finally coming out, it's like, what took so long for this to come out?
Oh, not took so long. You just had people to, brush something under the rug really good.
Yeah. Apologize for the interruption. I'm assuming that was from the tablet. We got to make sure that we silence all notifications. So he's retiring. He's done. I don't know who's going to take over. I thought for a while his son was taking over.
Okay.
So maybe he'll take over. I haven't really been watching WWE.
It's been a while.
In a while. I think the last time I watched it was when before The Rock was even acting. You got to think that's got to be like, what, 15 years or something now?
Almost 20 years.
Almost 20 years. So that's what's going on with that. Next, Pat Benatar has announced that she will not be performing the song "Hit Me With Your Best Shot" on her upcoming tour.
And why is that?
Because of the gun violence going on in the world.
As we talked about earlier. And I mean, I agree with her. I think things need to happen in order to stop it. And she's got a whole bunch of other hits that she could play with. Oh yeah. I mean, it's not just happening in your state too, the violence, the guns, and it's multiple things. So don't think that you're signaled out here. I mean, it's happening all around the world. So, I mean, it's a great song.
It's a great song. I like Pat Benatar a lot. I like, what's her other big hit besides "Hit Me With Your Best Shot"?
We were just listening to Your Best Shot, so it's in my
Higher and Higher, right?
Higher,
yeah. That's it. I don't know if that's the title of it, but I like that song. But yeah, so awesome. I agree with her. I think it's a good decision until something's done out of it. Next up, 50 Cent is filming a new horror film, and accordingly to some people that are working on the crew, they're passing out from the goriness of it. Which I don't know if that's a good or bad thing. I feel like I've heard comments like that before on films, and then you go watch the film and it's like, this ain't that gory.
Right.
But if it makes any difference or this helps at all, the movie, first of all, is called Skill House, and it's being directed by Josh Stolberg, who also was in charge of the last 2 Saw films.
Saw films, yes.
Now, I didn't research if that included Spiral, because Spiral is considered a Saw film. I have yet to see that one.
It wasn't too bad. It's got Chris Rock in it?
Chris Rock and Samuel Jackson.
Samuel Jackson, yeah. I watched it. You kind of fade from it. So I mean, okay film. I suggest you check it out. And let me know what you guys think.
How's the goriness on it?
Same as all of them.
Same as all of them.
Same as all of them. Not disappointing.
Yeah, I'll have to definitely. I've wanted to check it out for a while now. I'll definitely have to check it out. Next up, Deadpool, Deadpool 2, and Logan have officially made the jump to Disney Plus, making them the first R-rated films on the streaming service.
That's big.
That's really big. And what's cool about the streaming service? Do you have Disney Plus?
I certainly do.
What's cool about it is you could set up your level of films. I forget what the correct term of it, but you can have you can have a profile geared towards kids, a profile geared towards young teens, and then a profile geared towards.
Well, I believe many of the platforms actually have that now. So, yeah.
I'm interested to see where they go from here because Disney owns pretty much everything now. So like Alien and Predator is Fox, and they're technically owned by Disney.
The Germans.
So, do you think Predator will end up on Disney Plus?
Oh, I don't think so. No.
No?
No.
I think it will. I think the way that Disney is and the fact that they're buying everything, they're gonna want all that on one streaming service, to where everyone goes to like, oh, wait, Disney has Snow White and Alien vs. Predator.
So we're also putting the NBA and everything else on fucking?
Everything, bro. Everything.
I told you, watch out, Disney.
Disney. All right, next up, Simon McQuoid. I apologize if I said that last name wrong. Is returning to direct the Mortal Kombat sequel. Which, were you a fan of the reboot?
Yes, very much.
I was very much too. But were you a fan of the 90s?
I'm a 90s kid, 80s kid, 90s, yes. As corny as they are, they were still great films to me.
The first one, I think, still holds up. Annihilation, on the other hand, went a little out there, especially towards the end when Liu Kang turned into his dragon, and it was so fake. And then again, Goro was so fake in the original Mortal Kombat.
I mean, yeah, but the Annihilation, yeah, it's probably one of the worst. Yeah.
And you know what's interesting fact is when he came on to direct the reboot, he didn't really know much about Mortal Kombat.
Interesting.
And a lot of people were like upset about it. Like, he doesn't know about the video game. How can he direct the film?
Well, I mean, think about it. Look at all you got the cast from Stranger Things who were born in the early 2000s, and they were filming in the 80s. They have no idea about.
Or if we go back even further, that 70s show.
Right.
Ashton Kutcher and all of them.
Oh yes.
How old were they?
They're in their early teens, yeah.
Filming in that show, and that show was what, in the 90s? Started in the 90s.
In the 90s.
Went into the 2000s when they decided to change up cast, and I was not a fan of later when they brought in what's his name, like Randy or something.
I stopped watching after that.
Yeah, it was not that great.
No.
Moving on. Next story is A Quiet Place Day One, which is a spin-off from the Quiet Place series, will be released March 8th, 2024. And on top of a third Quiet Place film will be released sometime in 2025. Were you a fan of the Quiet Place films?
I've seen the first one. You have to see the second one. I mean,
you need to see the second one.
You gotta see it.
The opening sequence alone is great. And the way that John Krasinski directed it, and his directing skills was, especially like that opening scene alone, I was just like, this is filmed so fucking cool. Like, he does a lot of long takes and a lot of that suspense where you're like drawn in, and then something happens, you're like, whoa, what the fuck? So I recommend checking it out. I know it's on Paramount.
Paramount?
I forget what else. Yeah, this is a shout out. Not a sponsor. If we were sponsored Paramount, we definitely wouldn't be filming off the tablet.
No, we're just telling you where to go to find the good movies.
Right. Next and last story, San Diego Comic-Con is going on right now, which is a dream of mine to go to. I love the Comic-Con scene, and San Diego is like up there.
You just recently did a...
Yes, I did. It used to be called Wizard World. Now it's called Fan Expo, I believe. I apologize if I'm wrong. And we went a few weeks ago, me, Jen, and Harley. Harley loved it. 5-year-old.
And how'd you find it?
Well, how did I find the Comic-Con?
Yeah.
Well, I knew about it back when it was Wizard World, which was 5, 6, 7 years ago when they had Bruce Campbell from Evil Dead.
Dead.
And did you see Ash vs. Evil Dead?
Yes, I have.
So they had him, they had Pablo, and they had Kelly all there.
Can you show me photos?
Yeah, and they were really, really cool. That was back when Jen was pregnant with Harley. So yeah, so about 6 years ago. And her shirt I got her, this was I think before we found out it was a girl. It was just a white shirt, and then the stomach was like the uterus, and a picture of like a little boy in like a Superman costume.
Nice.
And so many of the actors were like, "That's such a cool shirt." And that was the same fest that we met Charlie Cox, aka Daredevil. And you know, have you ever done the Comic Cons?
No, I have not.
So if you go and you see a celebrity, you pay the autograph fee. It's for one autograph only. You can't pay a fee and bring like multiple things.
Right.
So he signed it, and he saw the shirt and saw that it was a superhero, and he autographed the shirt. So we have the shirt off to the side, just like hanging out. One of those things that you can never wear again. You want to wash the thing off.
Exactly.
But that was really cool that he did that for us, and was like, it's such a cool shirt, and he autographed it. So that was really cool. So the goal is to hit San Diego, because San Diego does Marvel, San Diego does Disney films. There's currently a Lionsgate's Clerks 3 stand where it looks like the Quick Stop, and you can take a picture with cardboard.
Yeah.
And Kevin Smith is there taking photos with you, and you get like a free bag that says Quick Stop on it. So the goal is to go there one day. The tickets aren't too expensive. It's one of those things where like when they first go on sale, you got to get in, and it's like a waiting list to get in. So the fact that that's going on right now, they're releasing a lot of trailers of shows that are coming out this fall or next year. So just want to list off of some of those trailers. There was I Am Groot, which is going to be like a 10 to 12 minute short series where Groot does different adventures and everything. It looks really cool. The Walking Dead final season.
We're still doing Walking Dead?
Yeah, this is I don't know, do you watch Walking Dead at all?
No, I'm done with zombies.
Are you? We're all caught up. It's great. It's crazy that it's coming to an end after 11 fucking seasons.
Yeah.
So we can't wait to watch that. The Rings of Power, which is the Lord of the Rings TV show, which looks fucking awesome.
Can't wait.
Teen Wolf the movie, based off of Teen Wolf the MTV show.
Horrible.
Which I don't know what to say about that. I've never seen it before. Dungeons and Dragons.
A reboot, huh?
Which I've never been into that whatsoever. I have no idea how it works. I saw the trailer and I was just like, this actually looks pretty fucking good.
Have you ever seen the original with Marlon Wayans?
I did not. I remember it. I even remember seeing the trailer. Like, no, this just...
Yep.
It's not what I'm into. Jeremy
yeah.
Irons. But the new one looks good. You got Chris Pine in it, Michelle Rodriguez.
Yeah, okay.
I
Good to see
forget what her
her
name
doing
was.
things again.
Yeah, I remember the other actress's name, but she played the young Beverly in the new It films.
Oh yes, the redhead, right?
Yes, the redhead. And then the guy from Bridgerton, which is, I've never seen that, but that's also a big show on Netflix.
Yes, it is.
So he's like the main guy.
Okay.
There's Andor, which is the new Star Wars film or show.
What, Disney Plus too?
Disney Plus.
Disney Plus.
And then Tales of the Walking Dead, which is a spin-off from The Walking Dead, where each episode is going to have its own own story. You have Terry Crews in an episode, Olivia Munn, Parker Posey, and you said you used to watch Walking Dead, or
yes.
What season did you get up to? Do you remember?
Oh my goodness, I think I finished. I think I'm caught up.
So do you remember Heath? He was the guy who played Dr. Dre in Straight Outta Compton.
Okay.
So he's in the spin-off and has a whole episode on his story.
Got
so
it.
you get to find out. And the last one, as of filming right now, I'm sure they've released trailers since then, was John Wick 4.
Can't wait.
John Wick 4.
John
Have you
Wick 4.
seen the trailer for it?
No, I have not.
Don't
ruin it.
When we're done, I'm going to show you, because it looked. I showed Jen. And you know what's funny is, I remember it like yesterday.
Keanu.
I hate to say this, I hate to call my wife out on this, but my wife was not the biggest Keanu fan.
What?
I know.
Everybody loves Keanu.
I know. So when I said we're going to see John Wick in the theater, she was like, what? I'm not a fan. This is and we saw it. And I shit you not, I was saying this to her earlier because it showed the trailer. I must have looked over about 4 times, and she was just like this. The movie ended, and she was like, "That was fucking amazing." I'm like, "Yes." Yeah. So that was the moment that turned her into a Keanu fan.
Oh yeah, Annabelle's big on John Wick 2 as well. She's been waiting.
You believe there's been 4 of them though?
Of course.
It's so good.
It's really good.
Good. All right, that is it for the news stories for this week that I could at least come up with and didn't want to spend too much time at it. So let's dive into our main topic of the show. Movies. So we decided to, let's write the top 10 and then the worst 10. Compare our notes. Find other people's top 10, worst 10. See if any of them match. And then go from there. So... Did you write yours in any particular order for the top 10, or you just wrote 10?
I get to 25. And I just, I mean, you know this is a difficult.
I know it's very difficult. Trust me, I would have written over 100 fucking films.
Oh yeah, easily.
Well, we're doing the top 10.
So I do got my top 10.
All right. How do you want to do it? Do you want to do all your 10 and then do all my 10?
I say we do go back and forth. Yeah, why not?
Okay, so did you put yours in any particular order?
Yeah.
Did you?
Yes, of course.
Okay. I wrote 1 through 10, but I didn't really put it in particular order. So start with your 10, and then I'll go with my 10, and we'll discuss it.
Sounds good. So my 10 is Polly, actually. It's a branch from Polly-Ann, a Disney movie from the 80s.
I never even heard of it.
Of course, not too many people have.
Who's in it?
Actually, you have a great amount of people cast from The Cosby Show, the wife. Ruby, the daughter, is the main character in it.
It's called Polly?
It's called Polly.
Disney.
It's a Disney musical, yes.
Well, have you heard about it? If you heard about it, say yes.
That's my top 10. Great. It's a musical, very inspiring. Inspirational movie. It's about actually a town, a black town, and ran by a very rich woman who has pretty much concealed herself in her money, and has not yet learned how to live outside adventurously. So she brings actually her niece, I believe, whose parents died, to live with her, and the pretty much changes her life, the little girl. Very inspirational.
You said it's from the 80s?
Yeah, 80s.
Is it on anything?
It should be on Disney Plus, but I mean, they have the original film that it was branched off Pollyanna on there, but you won't find it.
I haven't even heard of Pollyanna. When is Pollyanna from?
Pollyanna is the, I believe that's 70s.
I haven't even heard of that film either.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. Well, I'm going to definitely have to check it out because it sounds really, really interesting.
Oh, yeah. Had to buy it on Blu-ray DVD, about $100. So.
Oh, it makes me think of Dogma. You can barely find that motherfucker on Blu-ray.
Oh, yeah.
All right, my number 10. Like I said, though, I didn't really particular order. I just wrote 10. Put The Dark Knight.
Heath Ledger's Joker, huh?
Heath Ledger's Joker. Christian Bale's Batman. That opening scene alone, where if you're from Chicago, even if you're from the suburbs surrounding Chicago, you know where a lot of those streets were filmed.
Yeah, you know those streets, the names.
The opening scene, and then the fucking Lower Wacker scene.
Where he's driving the Lambo?
Yes, and fucking Heath Ledger just opens the side of the truck with a goddamn fucking bazooka. I would have loved to have seen that.
No. Well, yeah, he was actually driving his the rig that he created, the 4-wheel, the Batmobile at that time.
Right.
Yeah.
And then
actually, I was talking about the scene on Lake Street where he's driving the Lambo. That's as well.
I'm talking about the Lower Wacker Drive,
yes.
Where it was started off of that. He got hit with a bazooka, and then it transformed into the fucking Batmobile. The fucking not Batmobile,
the bike,
the Bat motorcycle.
Yeah.
Battlecycle. We'll call it. That scene. There's just too many scenes in that film that are memorable that you could fucking watch.
I'm a big Joker fan.
And one of my favorite when they first introduced him, Not in the beginning, but when they're having their meeting, he's like, "You want to see a magic trick? I can make this pencil disappear." And slams the dude's head on the fucking pencil.
Put the whole pencil through the eye.
That was awesome. So definitely in my top 10. What's your number 9?
My number 9. Oh, Jesus. So my number 9 is honestly Hocus Pocus.
Really?
Yes.
I see there's a theme Disney films right now.
And that's the crazy part, because you go through this and you're like, man, what inspired me? And most of these films inspired me when I was a kid.
Right.
So Disney.
I think I have to agree with that. I know I'm going to say this and I have a lot of people hate me. I'm not a big giant Sarah Jessica Parker fan.
Neither am I.
But Hocus Pocus,
Loved her.
I could take her in that. I love her. I love like her costume and everything. I'm very interested to see what they make them look in Hocus Pocus 2.
And you know, the fact that she actually has a pretty decent voice too as well. You don't hear her sing a lot. So.
Right. And I take it back. It's not only
Footloose.
Hocus Pocus. She was in Footloose?
Yes,
You know what?
was.
I did write a second. Did you get my message last night talking about writing films down that everyone else has seen the scene, but you haven't?
No, we haven't got on that. No. I haven't.
But did I message you about that?
I don't think you messaged me. No.
Okay. All right. But no, the other one that I could think of that I took her okay in. Have you ever seen a show called Divorce?
Newer show?
Within the last 5 or so years.
No.
It's her, and she's married to Thomas Hayden Church.
Okay.
She ends up having an affair on him, and we watched it. It was great. It only lasted 2 seasons though, but I liked it. And then Jen had me check out the Sex and the City TV show. The not the original, but they brought it back for like and just like that. And I'd never seen an episode of Sex and the City. We'll watch the rebooted TV show, and I actually enjoyed it too. So I'm like, maybe I need to check out Sex and the City. All right, my number 9, and this is like I remember it like yesterday. I had to throw in a horror film. My number 9 is the original Final Destination, and this is such a big thing to me because I would around that time I would ride my bike from my parents' house to the movie theater, and there was a movie theater in Streamwood where they had an entrance in the front and entrance in the back.
In the little plaza, right?
And if you went in the entrance to the back, no one was there to collect tickets, and you could literally walk into a theater.
Didn't they used to have like Rocky Horror Picture Show events?
It was just like I think it was a Lowe's theater, so it was just a regular theater, and they just didn't have people on both sides. So I would go. I rode my bike.
Is it a monastery now for the Muslims?
Yeah, it is. It was right over by where Chuck E. Cheese used to be,
Yes.
or is Chuck E. I don't know if Chuck E. Cheese is still there, but I went there. I went to go see Final Destination. I think I was a little under the age of seeing R-rated films. It's like I snuck in, and like it fucking blew me away. I was like, they just cheated death, and like some of the deaths in that first one were fucking cool.
Yeah.
Sean William Scott, where the fucking thing just cut half of his head off. With Sean William Scott, that was like before he got fucking big.
Yeah, Stifler, right?
You had Devin Sawa. You had
Idle Hand, right?
Idle Hands.
Yep.
Ellie Larder, Varsity Blues.
Oh man, yeah.
Tony Todd, Candyman.
That's right.
That was before I even really knew about Candyman. Well, because I saw it so young. Obviously, after that, I knew about Candyman.
And where was it filmed again?
What, Candyman? Southside. I know all that. All right. So that was my number 9. Your number 8?
My number 8, Panther.
Panther.
Panther, yes. It's actually about the rise of Huey P. Newton, and I'm sorry, runs me, but the Black Panther Party, and how it started, created in Compton, California, and the rise and pretty much the fall of it. Just great on your history of you know, your community, your neighborhood, the people that are around you.
He was the one who originally started it.
Huey P. Newton. There was two of them.
There was, I know who's the one
That went to it in the court, right?
with they made a film about it last week, Judas and the Black Messiah.
Yes.
What was his name?
That was Washington. He was actually from the Chicago branch. Mr. Washington, the first name, yeah, skips me, but yes, watch that film. Yes, very organized with him and Bobby, I forget the other guy's last name, but Bobby and Huey P. Newton were the originating starters, creators, founders of the Black Panther Party. And just to watch what they did for their community, back in those days when police brutality was at its peak, and it's getting back to that, but yeah. Very, very good on your history if you don't know anything about your African American history.
That's kind of like how when we checked out Judas and the Black Messiah.
Yes.
Like I knew about the Black Panthers, but I didn't know enough until I watched the film. And did you check that one out at all?
Judah and the Black Messiah? Yes, of course. Oh yeah.
It was
with my mother actually.
Really interesting,
Yes.
and I really liked. You know, you can't pronounce his last name, but Danielle Cooley or whatever.
Yes.
And then Lakeith.
Lakeith. Yep.
He's fucking phenomenal too.
Great actress, yes.
He was really, really good in it. I really like him too in Atlanta. He's a great actor in that. Awesome. Yeah, I'll have to check that out. What is it available on? You know?
That's the thing. That's one of those movies that's hard to find.
You don't know any. All these films you're choosing, except for like Hocus Pocus, they're so hard to fucking find.
Yep.
And a lot of people are probably like, "What fucking? I was hoping to hear like The Mask or something." This motherfucker's talking about.
That's what I said. I was telling him. I was like, I'm pretty sure all his top 10 are Jim Carrey and Kevin Smith.
I have Jim Carrey. I have one Jim Carrey. We'll get to that. All right. My number 8, which is Kevin Smith, is Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back.
Good movie. Yes.
Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. Just like Final Destination was another one that I rode my bike out to Streamwood, saw it, and Lowe's Theaters again. Shout out to Lowe's Theaters. I don't even know.
I don't even exist anymore.
They're all run by churches now.
Muslim churches.
Muslim churches. I hate to admit this, but Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back is like one of the first movies with Jay and Silent Bob. So when I saw it, I knew nothing about Mallrats, Clerks, Chasing Amy. That was the movie that introduced me to all these characters.
Yeah.
And that was one of the very first films that I saw them break the third wall. If you remember it, there was 2 times where they run into Will Ferrell, and Will Ferrell's like, "That sounds like something out of a corny movie," and they all look at the camera. That was one of the first films. I'm like, wait a minute.
They can do that?
What is this? What is going on? And they did it like 2 times in the theater. So that introduced me to Breaking the Third Wall. They introduced me to Jay and Silent Bob. They introduced me to Kevin Smith, who I fucking admire. I would say adore. He's a great fucking guy. Him and Jason Mewes are just like, I've talked to both of them, and they literally talk to you like they've known you for years.
Yeah.
So I definitely had to throw it in there. I put it at 8. But that's only because I do not have these in a 1 to 10. These are all in there. I cannot fucking.
Oh, it was difficult for me too as well.
Categorize. Yeah. And, you know, I hate to put Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back above Dogma, because Dogma is probably one of my favorite Kevin Smith films.
Yeah,
but the Strike Back is what introduced me to those characters. So that's why I got to throw it in there. All right, number 7.
Number 7, Edward Scissorhands.
Edward Scissorhands.
Definitely.
I hadn't seen that movie in forever.
That's a problem. I watch it at least once, twice every year.
You know what's not in my top 10 that you said that? I won't say it loud, but I'm thinking about it, that I watch once a year. I'm like, fuck, I need to put that movie in there. It'll be an honorable mention.
Oh, look at you. Now you want to do the opposite. I was wondering how we're going to work that one in there.
You do one honorable mention, all right? You said your comment of like, I watch it once a year, and there's this film that I watch once a year around Halloween time where I'm like, fuck, why didn't I put that one in there?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that one is Nightmare Before Christmas.
Nope.
Woo!
but we will
Close.
see.
All right.
So no, I loved Edward Scissorhands.
Yes.
Johnny Depp, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Winona Ryder,
Oh yes, definitely.
and just it's just a messed up film.
Yeah, it is.
It's you feel bad for the main character, and these people it makes me kind of think of like Frankenstein.
Yeah.
Where he's a monster. These people hate him, but he just wants to be loved. He wants.
It's not even so much monster. For me, it was like, here's this weird person, because, I'm weird. You know what I'm saying? And I accept it.
Yeah,
here's
really
this
weird
weird person, and just the fact that, even weird people, if you don't understand them, how it could scare the shit out of people.
Mm-hmm.
And people who are scared do just horrible things. And for him to just almost get to that breaking point, but still retreat out and say, you know what? This is not my world. You make the sacrifice
Right.
for the world, and that was a big thing for me. This one person who just wanted someone to know him, someone to love him, and go out there and try, but the world's not ready, and for him to say, okay, fine, for the world to be better, maybe I don't need to be in it.
Right, and then on top of all of that, it's fucking Tim Burton.
Yeah, great.
His visual effects and like, if you were to just explain to someone who's never heard of Tim Burton, and they walked in to see a Tim Burton film, they would automatically know this is a Tim Burton film.
Yeah, definitely.
Like every fucking even when he did the Batman, you're like, this is a Tim Burton Batman.
Yeah.
I love his films. All right, that was your number 7.
You know, my number 7.
My number 7. I don't know if you agree with me or not. Titanic.
Oh, no lie, I do watch it when there's nothing to watch.
It is. I loved it, man. You got your fucking Leo, Kate Winslet, who's great in it. Fucking Billy Zane too. Who I love.
Chicago artist, yes, great performance. I mean, you're from Chicago, but I mean the accent, the posture. It's yeah. He's the main reason why I did see Titanic. I'm a big fan of it. Demon Knights, which is one of my favorite horror films.
The Phantom. He was the Phantom.
He was also
too.
the Phantom comic book stuff.
Yeah. I gotta put it in there. I enjoyed it the very first time I saw it. I remember the very first time I saw it. This is another memory. I was with my parents, and when they did the let me draw you like my girl, or draw me like your girls, my mom fucking tried to cover my eyes. No, because that's one of the few PG-13 films that had nudity in it.
Yeah.
And my parents were like, or not my parents, I should say my mom trying to cover my eyes. I'm like, no, I need to see this. It's history.
You need to see it?
I didn't say it out loud, but in my head I think like, I need to see this. It's history, Mom.
God, sex in my mind, that's a whole other story.
Oh God.
Jesus Christ.
And on top of all that, when Harley was born and we were sitting in the hospital waiting to be released, it was on TV. So we're like, fuck, let's watch it.
Yeah.
And watching it again, we're like, man, this is still fucking really, really, it's a depressing moment in fucking our history.
Mm-hmm.
And they filmed it, and James Cameron too, man. You can't go wrong with James Cameron.
You can.
Okay.
Titanic.
Titanic. You're a jerk.
But no, I enjoy the story myself. I did enjoy the story. You're still missing a bunch of other great actors.
Oh yeah, Kathy Bates.
Yep.
Maggie Smith.
Who's that? Bill. Twister.
Oh yeah, Bill Paxton.
Bill Paxton.
Wow, how did I forget about that? Because he's just got the very beginning and the very end.
True.
That's the only reason. I'm more on like the Titanic. That's what I was thinking of. Because even the guy who decided to stand at like the fireplace and go down with the ship, even he,
the architect.
I forget what his name was
Yes,
too, but he's a pretty good actor. Yeah. All right.
Yeah. Moving on.
Moving on, number 6 for you.
Oh, number 6. What is my number 6? Shawshank Redemption. Definitely.
I will admit, Shawshank was a little bit later in my lifetime, but when I saw that, I was just fucking blown away.
I'm pretty sure that's in your top 10.
Shawshank is not in my top 10.
Wow, it's got to be in your honorable mention.
It's definitely in around that general area.
I mean, Stephen King, right? Stephen King,
Tim Robbins,
Morgan Freeman.
Freeman.
Yes, everybody in there.
And I believe the guy who directed it was Frank something, who ended up going on to do The Walking Dead. And that's why the one guy who played Dale in Walking Dead was from Shawshank. Because he's one of those guys that seems to do a lot of the same actors or anything. So yeah, I respect.
Yeah, and you know, it's the experience. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of these things, you would wonder why your mother would make you watch a movie like Shawshank, which I'm pretty sure the read is just as good. But you know, that reality of you know, going to prison, how it really was back then, and the fact that the prison is, you know, the location is still shot in Chicago.
Was it?
Yeah.
Where at?
That was down south, I believe. To anybody who knows the location, I should have wrote down my research, but once again, you know, there's always something going down behind the scenes with us.
Yeah.
So,
It's non-stop information. It's like, how much can you write? I literally took up 4 pages just to write this episode. But I do remember that reveal that, like, he fucking tunneled through, or, like, spoilers for people that haven't seen it. But when that moment when they found out that he fucking tunneled through the sewage system and everything, was just like, what? And you end up finding out that he didn't commit the crime, right? Or did you ever?
Yeah. Actually, the dude he was teaching, actually tutoring for his GED, was locked up with the guy who actually did the crime, and the guy told him. We're not going to spoil it too much for you, but
I know the people that are watching have never seen it. Like, what the fuck? I can't watch it now.
Right.
Yes, you can.
Yes, you can.
Just when you heard Shawshank, just fast forward it, even though it's too late now. All right, my number 6 is Happy Gilmore. Happy Gilmore is probably my favorite Adam Sandler film. And that says a lot because I like a lot of his films. And it's a toss between Happy Gilmore, Billy Madison, and Waterboy. But Happy Gilmore, back when Blockbuster was a thing, I couldn't tell you.
Old.
I lost the count of times where people were like, "Let's go to Blockbuster, rent a film," and I always choose fucking Happy Gilmore. Every fucking time, people would be like, "No, we've seen this," but it's such a funny movie.
Yes.
You got fucking him in it. You got fucking who plays Shooter McGavin?
Oh yeah, man. Oh my goodness. You see, this is what happens.
I know.
Yeah, dude, great Shooter. Yeah, great Shooter McGavin was so great. I love it.
And on top of that, you had the fucking guy who played, was it Jaws and James Bond?
You did?
His boss.
Apollo too, Apollo Creed.
Yes, all in the hits.
all in the hits.
And then you had the one guy who was in Saturday Night Live who was like, just let it go. Go with the flow. What the fuck was his name? You know what I'm talking about, right? From Grandma's Boy?
Yeah. Yeah, wasn't he the bum or something like that too?
Oh, the bum was the guy
Grandma's
who's
Boy
been
too.
everything, and
Yeah.
but I'm talking about from Grandma's Boy, the boss.
Yeah.
It's like, man, where do you get your weed from? From you, Dante. Look at his fucking name. I can't believe I don't remember a lot of these actors' names from this film, but I chose this in my top 10. Wow. So yeah, so that would be my number 6. Number 5?
Number 5. Oh, it's so funny. It's The Fifth Element.
The Fifth Element.
Gary Oldman, Bruce Willis,
Mila Jovovich.
Oh, man.
Chris Tucker. Chris Tucker.
Mm-hmm.
Man,
Kobe, my man. Kobe, my man.
He had that fucking, like, cone-shaped hairdo.
He had a few different hairdos in it, yeah.
Oh, man, I haven't seen that movie in forever.
Oh,
what year did that movie take place? Was it supposedly around close, right?
In 97, 96, I believe.
I know, but
I believe he had to do the Jackal before he actually got that role.
I'm talking about when they, during the, when you watch the film, what year is it supposed to take place in?
Oh, 20,
Soon, right?
Oh,
If we haven't passed it already, when
know.
they have flying cars and everything, and
Yes.
obviously we're nowhere near that.
no. Well, at least they're not telling us.
At least, yeah. And the guy who directed it went on to direct a newer film that I really like called Valerian. You ever see that one?
Yes.
That one was that reminded me a lot of Fifth Element.
Mm-hmm.
Same effects and elements and everything.
Great, yeah, no, great effects. The cinematography too was great on it. I like, man, yeah. Just and Gary Oldman too, dude. That's one of my favorite actors.
Gary Oldman. That is one of those few
amazing
actors that I don't think he's ever won Academy Award.
I don't think so either.
But has done so many, like even in like The Professional, he was phenomenal. Batman is Gordon. He was great.
Dude, Sid and Nancy, just like he's just that guy's got range out of this world, man. And I heard you're a nice guy too as well.
Yeah, I heard really nice. One of the first films that introduced me to him was True Romance.
Really? Mine was
the pimp, right?
He did. Mine was Bram Stoker's Dracula.
I've never seen that one.
He was Dracula.
I've always wanted to see that one. All right, my number 5, which is a Quentin Tarantino film.
Yes. Okay.
Kill Bill.
Oh, see, and that's what I was thinking. I was like, if I'm choosing these films, I want to make sure they're not reboots. I want to make sure there's no sequels or values.
I know
to
this
them.
is.
So it's
That was one of the things where I'm like, man, do I do Kill Bill? Because there was Kill Bill 2.
Value.
And then if you even think about it, down the line, he created a film with both of them together, which is like the whole bloody affair. But Kill Bill, the first one, I thought was so fucking cool. The way that was filmed, and Lucy Liu, that fucking one scene always sticks out to me where the guy's talking shit about him. She runs across the table, cuts his fucking head off, and it's like a fucking fountain of blood. Where I was like, what the fuck?
The line she says, anybody got something? Motherfuckers got something to say.
Now's the
fucking time. Yeah.
That was great.
Great.
And then when they first introduced her, where that whole scene was animated.
Oh, yes.
That was fucking cool.
Yeah. The anime.
Daryl Hannah was in it, and fucking there was so many great actors in it. David Carradine was great as Bill.
Mm-hmm.
Uma Thurman,
Obviously.
love Uma.
I'm a Michael Madsen fan. Big on him. He played one of the best dads in the world to me. Free Willy.
Free Willy, wow. I haven't seen that movie in fucking forever.
I just watched it actually, just because Michael Madsen as that. But yeah, great actor. Too as well. Who else was it? Vanessa Fox? Or Vivica Fox? Vivica Fox, yeah.
We actually met her at a Comic-Con one year.
Yeah, how was she?
Fucking cool as that. Her line was pretty much empty. And
really?
We're like, why is it empty? And maybe because she hasn't really done anything in a while?
She hasn't really, no. I'm pretty sure.
But I never showed you the photo?
No, yeah.
We met her and we did like a selfie where she was behind her desk, we were in the front. And she was cool as shit. We got a photo of Kill Bill that she autographed, and we just chat with her for a while.
Gorgeous
woman. About everything. Yeah, she's really, really cool. I think the last thing I saw her in was Empire.
Yeah, she was the sister,
One
right?
of the sisters, yeah. All right, you're number 4.
My number 4. Let me see, where are we at? Now that's a hard one. That one I couldn't. No, Annabelle. Annabelle, for me, it was a Little Shop of Horrors. It was between that or The Toy with Richard Pryor.
Oh, I don't think I've ever seen The Toy.
But The Little Shop of Horrors. Musical fan. All day, Rick Moranis.
Yeah.
Like the nerd of nerds. All cinema.
Nerds. And, respect to him that he decided to stop doing the acting.
After his wife died, yes.
Yeah, and take
care of his children. Yeah, great.
Yeah, I would love if he came back and made a comeback. He
yes.
might, because he did a Mint Mobile commercial for Ryan Reynolds. I don't know if you saw that.
No, I didn't. Is he Asian or what?
He's Asian a little bit, but he put a pair of glasses on him.
And he's the same
thing. But they did
My Blue Heaven. Yeah, he's great.
They did a Mint Mobile commercial. And not too long after that, he got fucking attacked. Someone randomly, like a bus stop or something, punched him in the face.
Rick Moranis.
And Ryan Reynolds made a comment about it. He's like, I feel like it's my fault that he hadn't been in the spotlight, and I brought him in for this commercial, and someone attacks him. That's how you know that Ryan Reynolds is a nice guy, where he's like, it's my fault, but he's Canadian, so that's why he's so fucking nice.
Are all Canadians nice? French. But definitely Little Shop of Horrors. Rick Moranis. You even have Steve Martin make an appearance in there.
Yeah.
Who else? Dude, it's just outstanding cast. I believe. Just the music. One of the singers from the Four Tops plays Audrey to the Plant. Good,
really?
yeah, good music in it. Yeah, funny. Just something that stuck out to me. It's my family, my mother, my grandmother, musicals, dude. It's it. Jesus Christ Superstar, Hair. Just
You know which musical I've never seen? I want to watch it, and Jen's watched it, and she's like, it's really good. It's Rent.
yes, it is.
I heard Rent is phenomenal, and that has a
Rent's great.
great cast in it as well.
It is. It is.
And then another one that Jen brought up the other day was Bye Bye Birdie.
Don't remember seeing it.
Jason Alexander's in it.
Okay.
George Costanza.
Yes. They definitely know Jason Alexander.
Yeah, she's like, that's a really good movie too. All right, moving on. Number 4 for me, it's Dumb and Dumber.
Yes.
Dumb and Dumber. Jim Carrey in his fucking prime. Right around the same time as all those other fucking great hits.
Not just him.
Jeff Daniels.
Yes.
Which I don't know if you knew this. Jeff Daniels took a fucking cut of his budget for them to fucking have Jim Carrey in it.
Did he?
He took a pretty good cut.
Which is crazy because I do not think Jim Carrey outacted him at all in that movie. I think he held his ground so hard.
Feel
I
like
thought he was
they
more hilarious.
fucking made each other better.
Yeah.
Like they were like I cannot picture anyone else being in either other role.
No, I mean, and they have done, younger versions of them, which wasn't too bad.
It wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
The sequel I thought was garbage.
It was raunchy, a little raunchy.
There was no need for a sequel to it, but the original. First of all, you have the Farley brothers,
Yes.
which were great. Jim Carrey, Jeff Daniels. You have is it Lauren Holly as Mary?
Mary, yep.
And like the whole there's so many great scenes in it. The scenes where they're trying to figure out her last name, look at the suitcase, Samsonite.
So stupid.
So stupid. They trade their truck for a little fucking little
little
bike.
moped.
And they
Whatever it
fucking they take all the money out from the suitcase and put IOUs. Those are just as good as the money. There's so many great scenes in it that I had to put that in there, and it ranks up higher because I love Jim Carrey. I think Dumb and Dumber is one of his best movies ever, and that it's definitely up there. So that's why I put it in my number 4.
Oh yeah. I don't agree. I don't disagree with that one at all.
I don't agree, but I disagree.
No, I don't disagree.
All right, number 3 for you.
Number 3 for me would be Awakenings.
With Robin Williams?
Oh yeah, Robert Williams and Robert Downey Jr.
Robert
Sorry, forgive me for that. Robert De Niro, not Robert Downey.
Yeah.
Robert De Niro.
Man,
One of those performances where you just how do you not remember Robert De Niro in that him and that performance is so amazing. The fact that he took on that disease and he sold it for me. It was scary.
Dude, I remember.
It was very scary.
I forget how I came across it. I think it was because of the cast, and I'm like, I need to check this movie out.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, man, this is fucking really, really good.
It is.
And I don't think a lot of people have seen it.
No.
Because it wasn't like a big thing. It was like the 90s that it came out, right?
It's early 90s. Yeah.
And I don't think
Right before Mrs. Doubtfire, right? Had to be right before
I
Mrs.
think
Doubtfire.
so.
And just Robin Williams was like that role for him too as well. The doctor, the nerd. You know what I'm saying? It's you get what you get from Robin Williams, and it's always fantastic.
Oh yeah, absolutely, dude. Absolutely. All right, my number 3, Gangs of New York. Fucking
Daniel Day-Lewis?
Danny Day-Lewis, another Leo. That movie was fucking awesome. Martin Scorsese directed it.
Yes,
Cameron Diaz was phenomenal.
And she has rare films where she's great in for me. But that I thought that was one of her best.
I love that. Like that opening battle
Yes.
alone was, and the music too.
Mm-hmm.
The music's really fucking. The music really sold that scene.
Yes, it did.
So yeah, that's definitely like I.
Gore, John C. Riley. I mean, the cast.
Riley,
Yes.
John C. Riley,
Mhm.
and the guy who played the Irishman.
The red hair guy. Yeah.
Yeah,
He's phenomenal.
I feel like it's Brandon Gleeson, right?
I think it is Gleason. I think.
From In Bruges and like so many.
He's in a lot of things.
He's a lot of things.
Yeah, he's great.
So I have my 1 through 10 all over the place, but I definitely put Gangs of New York in the top 3.
Got your 3?
That's my top. These next top 3 are definitely the top 3 out of all my 10.
Okay.
What about you? Number 2?
Oh yeah, that's easy. A Thin Red Line. So when it
Yes.
comes to film genres, I am big on war. I love the psychological bullshit that they got to go through when they're there. The fact that these men are being sent out to defend a country that doesn't even love them. I'm sorry.
I've never seen it.
It is. I mean, an all-star cast: Nick Nolte,
Yeah,
Woody Harrelson, George Clooney, Adrian Brody. Oh yeah, dude, it's all-star cast. All-star.
And I love war films. I love, Saving Private Ryan.
Saving
We
Private
Were
Ryan was great.
Soldiers.
We Were Soldiers.
Mel
Full Metal
Gibson,
Jacket.
Full
Full
Metal-
Metal Jacket. Yes.
See, Full Metal Jacket for me, I think is great up until after the boot camp scene. The boot camp scene is fucking phenomenal.
It is, but I still like when they're hunting the sniper and find out that she's a girl.
See, I don't remember too much after the boot camp scene.
Mm-hmm.
That's just me though.
It's a great one. Another one, Platoon. Charlie Sheen.
Platoon.
Great war film. I mean, war films for me. That's it. That's it, dude.
Were you a Pearl Harbor fan?
I was. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
I hated it. It's a love-hate thing. I'm not a Ben Affleck fan.
Are you a Josh Hartnett fan?
I am very much. I think he's actually great. You know, he was one of those characters that I brought when they brought him in H2O Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm yelling at the screen like, "Comb your fucking hair, Josh." You know, because he introduced that whole grungy, big, ripped up sweater look, and for me, it's just like, we'll see where he goes. And he actually did a season of Penny Dreadful that I loved him in.
I've always wanted to check that show out.
Yes. So yeah, Josh Hartnett. So yeah, war films for me. A Thin Red Line is my number 1. My number 2 in this list.
Number 2 in that list. My number 2 in this list is Gladiator.
Yes.
Which I feel like is the best Russell Crowe film. Russell Crowe has a lot of great films, but Gladiator for me is. I must have saw that in the movie theater about 4 times.
He actually won an award for that, didn't he?
Yeah. And Ridley Scott, Joaquin Phoenix was great in it.
Yes, he was. As he's supposed to be like what, Nero? He's supposed to be like a Nero character, right?
He kills his father,
Yep.
and because his father wanted to give Russell Crowe, which is Maximus, which is also a great fucking name, to take over from.
Yeah.
And you had Connie Britton as, I think, the daughter, right? Because didn't Joaquin Phoenix kind of have like that weird touchy-feeling scene with her, and they were brother and sister and shit?
Yeah, I believe so. Oh yeah, Connie. What else? Soldier, right? Kurt Russell. What else? Deep Blue Sea.
With Connie Britton?
Yeah.
That's the right name.
I know it's
I
Connie.
know.
She was also
Connie Nelson.
Connie Nelson. Yeah.
Connie Britton is from American Horror Story.
That's right. Yep.
Yes, Connie Nelson from Deep Blue Sea.
Deep Blue Sea and our new Wonder Woman films. She's the mother.
Right. See, and this is what we do, ladies and gentlemen. We talk about a movie, and we get to a point where we're like, "Are you sure about that? Maybe it's this person," and we figure it out. We always figure it out.
And normally we're more on point in this, but like I said, this was a last minute actual.
Yeah.
Huh.
And there's a lot of people that I've talked to. So many people like, "Hey, you know that actor?" And they're like, "Fuck you talking about? What? You don't know who that actor is? He was in this movie or that movie." Yeah, I have no idea who that is. All right, you're number 1.
You already know.
You're finally number 1.
You already know. Malcolm X, directed by Spike Lee, Denzel Washington. Like I say, Black History. I'm not very, very big on it, but that's one of the 2 movies that. I mean, Malcolm X, the speech, the fact that he went from hustler, robber, drug addict to one of the most amazing speakers of all time, especially in motivation, religion, for black rights. You know, he was one of those people that were like, no, we're going to fight back, protect yourself. Instead of, let's pray about this. Let's go walk down the street and just have them brutally just insult us or throw rocks at us instead of doing anything about it. No, stand up for yourself. I don't care what color you are. And just to see Denzel Washington go from one transition to the next,
Yeah.
I mean, other than seeing it in comic books, you know, Bruce Wayne, Batman. I mean, I thought he did an amazing job with that. And then also the music behind it. You know, the trumpet man himself.
You can't go wrong with fucking that film. You can't go wrong with Denzel.
You can't.
Can't go wrong with Spike Lee's directing. You know, that was a great film.
And I'm really not a big Spike Lee fan. You know, he's out there. I mean, Old Boy. You know.
See, I was about to say, I think Old Boy is one of the only films that I really liked they did. And mainly, I think a lot of that had to do with the fact that I had seen the original.
Yes, me too.
And I got to compare. And you had fucking Josh Brolin.
Oh, yeah.
Who's fucking amazing.
Yep, Samuel L. Jackson, too.
Elizabeth Olsen.
Great.
All right. My number one.
We can get into that all day. All right.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, we can literally pick a film and do a whole fucking episode.
Yeah.
My number one, Goodfellas.
Great. Oh, man. Rest in peace, Ray Liotta.
Rest in peace, Ray Liotta.
Shit.
Goodfellas.
Joe Pesci.
Robert
De Niro.
Martin Scorsese.
Yes. Oh, man.
So many fun. That's my wife's probably favorite film, too. She loves that film. And one year, for her birthday, I got a script with all their autographs on it for her birthday. So she has that, like, somewhere. I gotta find out where it's at, but she's like, this is fucking awesome. Such a great film. The opening scene with the fucking trunk, the way that they fucking kill off Joe Pesci.
Yeah, nobody expected that at all.
No.
It's just a brute, and you know, it makes you wonder. You know, was the Italian mafia that? Was it? I mean, they were in the FBI. They had everything. Just after
You know what's great too is I saw a few months ago before Ray Liotta died, he was on, I think, Kimmel. I don't know if you saw this clip at all, but they all got together, a lot of the old cast, because it had been 25 or something, 25, 26 years or something since the movie came out.
Mm-hmm.
And Ray Liotta was like, yeah, we all got together, but Joe Pesci couldn't make it. He ended up sending a letter. Jimmy Kimmel's like, well, what did the letter say? He goes, well, you know, I fucking can't make it, you fucking guys. I can't fucking come here and fucking... And Jimmy Kimmel's like, he even swears like that in his letters. And Ray Liotta was like, yeah, of course he does.
It's so funny, and too, he was changing up a lot of his life to stay healthy. I remember him being a big cigarette smoker, and he actually did the commercial about quitting cigarettes, and so yeah, just so young, man.
No. All right, yeah. So that was our top 10. I thought, you know, I did a little research, and I ended up writing out the top 20 greatest films. You know, according to this, went across the whole web. So this took a whole bunch of different websites and factored it all together.
You want to name them really quickly?
Yeah, I'll name them really quickly. We'll see if any of them hit our list. The top 20, Silence of the Lambs.
Great, yeah.
19, Shawshank. 18, Titanic. 17, Schindler's List. 16, Vertigo. 15, Saving Private Ryan. 14, 2001: A Space Odyssey, which I've never seen.
Great movie.
13, Lawrence of Arabia. 12, The Lion King, the animated one. 11, Psycho. 10, City Lights, which I've never seen.
Never seen it.
9, 12 Angry Men, which I've never seen.
12 Angry Men, the original or the remake?
I believe it was the original. I believe it was the original. Number 8, Apocalypse Now, talking about war films.
Right.
Number 7, Goodfellas. Number 6, Casablanca, which I've never seen. 5, Star Wars.
All of them?
The original.
Okay.
4, Godfather.
Nice.
3, Pulp Fiction. 2, Citizen Kane. And 1, The Dark Knight. So we had a few between the two of us.
Yeah, we did, actually.
We had a few, so it's not bad. You know, and this is all going off of other people's thing.
And if you guys have a top 10 list, you know, let us know. You know,
Right.
message us, inbox, you know. Let us know what your top 10 movies, favorite movies are, the one that inspired you from young age to even now.
Right. So, I don't know. Do you want to jump it over the 10 worst, or do you want to end it and save the 10 worst for another
I said
episode?
we ended leave the 10 words for another
I
episode.
didn't realize we had been going for an hour. We
Have we?
when talking about movies and shit, we could literally, people would start getting bored. Like, these guys are still talking about the same motherfucking movie.
And we can't get bored with it.
We can't get bored with it.
But you know what? We're glad you for tuning in. Coming to you from the Emerald Suite Studio. I am L.
And I'm JD. Please like, subscribe, comment. And like you said, if you got a list of your own, put it up there. Let the people know.
Any ideas for any podcast, episodes that you got any ideas for? Let us know. Yeah.
And if you want to be a guest, obviously, let us know. We'll have the social media up so you can comment and get a hold of us for that. So until then,
Was it anything anywhere?
anything, anywhere, yeah. Until then,
Anything anywhere at any time?
boom.